Audi TT Mk1 Headlight Washer Inspection and Repair. I accept no responsibility or liability for any injury, damage or loss caused from the content of this video.
Hi all, Andy here, and welcome back to the channel for an episode on how to diagnose and fix issues with your headlight washers. If you've not done so already, please check out the other content on my channel and think about liking and subscribing. Remember, my videos are aimed at the novices out there like myself who want to give this job a go themselves. To get cracking, we need to remove the front bumper. I do cover this in a separate video that I've made on the channel, which you can find a link to above here.
Whoa, don't unbolt it just yet. There are a few tests we can do without removing it that may solve your issue, and I will show you those first. Right, back to my issue.
I know from previously removing the bumper that the headlight washer fluid is not even connected to the headlight washers, so I know there's a problem to start.
Testing the headlight washers may involve using an extra set of eyes to watch what happens, or you can set a camera up to record it. They tend to pop out and back in very quickly when working. To test, turn your headlights on. Now turn on your ignition and start the engine. It's important to make sure the engine is running so that the washer pump has got enough volts to generate enough pressure to squirt. Next, give your windscreen washers a squirt and leave engaged for around 10 seconds. In that time, the washers should pop out, squirt the headlights and return to their housing. If nothing happens, it's time to investigate. If there is no movement from the washers, it is worth checking simple things first. The washers share a fuse with the intermittent wipers in the fuse box located behind the end fascia panel of the dashboard on the driver's side. I cover the fuse box location in another video linked above. Looking at my diagram, you can see the fuse in question is number 33 and rated at 20 amps. Also worth checking is the washer doors are not blocked or jammed. To do this, simply lever the top of the washer door out and down gently with a blunt screwdriver or piece of plastic that does not scratch your paintwork. The door is spring loaded, so should snap back into place. Do not put too much force into this in case it is blocked. If you lever it down and there is not a pair of round nozzles staring back at you, it might be you have a bumper for washers but no washers. So that is about the limit of the checks you can do without removing the bumper and the passenger wheel arch lining, which is actually necessary to remove the bumper anyway. As already mentioned, removing the bumper is available in another of my videos, and I will leave a link to the relevant videos in my description. With the passenger wheel arch lining out of the way, we can see the feed tube that flows around the top of the wheel arch and links the washer reservoir bottle with the headlight washers. Worth noting, the washers themselves tend to be referred to as aliens due to their space bug appearance. Inside the wheel arch at the rear is the pump for the washers, as they are pressure fed. The connector for the pump is the connector here, and on my car it had been unplugged. So even if I reconnected the pipes, there should be no pressure from the pump to activate the aliens. So I've plugged this back in and moved the end of the feed tube to above the waterline of the washer reservoir in order to test the pressure. Simply repeat the test with squirting the windscreen washers again, and if the pump works and activates, you should see a jet of water shooting from the feed pipe. In case you missed it, here it is again in slow motion, hosing my garage walls down. So the good news is, my pump is good and strong, so provided my aliens are good, reconnecting the pipes will sort the problem. With the bumper removed, it becomes obvious that the aliens are pressure driven only due to a complete lack of electrics in the front bumper. Here is the driver's side, or right alien, indicated by an R, and the part number is 0308 011 004. The alien simply extends outward when pressurised by the pump. So to test, make sure the feed pipe is connected and repeat the wiper test. If it moves outward and squirts, all good. If one moves but not the other, look for any blockages that could be in the pipes. If it still will not move, it could mean the alien needs replacing. The good news is that the aliens are not connected in series, in a row, but in parallel, so they will fire independently if one is faulty. Moving to the left-hand alien, the part number for this is 0308 011 003. So as mentioned, the two alien pipes are connected in parallel using a plastic T-piece join that has failed on mine. All that is left are the brittle remnants in the ends of the pipe. I'm going to remove the Jubilee clips, clamping the pipes around these ends, and replace these with ones that can be tightened with a Phillips screwdriver. Once removed and the old plastic nozzles are out of the way, I will insert the new T-piece I bought from eBay. The Audi part number is 8D0955873 and is around £15. It's rather a lot for a simple pipe connector. So push the pipes all back together and tighten the Jubilee clips, and reattach the feed pipe from the water reservoir. I'm going to leave the bumper off the car while I test the Alien's performance. So the good news is that with the pipework all reattached, the pressure is forcing the Aliens out from behind their doors and up towards where the headlights would be. The bad news is that no water is coming out from the nozzles. There is no blockage in the pipe that I can see, and water is definitely getting to the Aliens, so it looks like there could be an issue with the Aliens themselves. Here is where I need to think outside the box. Neither Alien is working, and replacements are looking at around £100 each. I can't justify that for what I would class as a non-essential part of the car, although I think it is an MOT type requirement in some parts of the world. Instead of replacing the item, I have heard that there is a potential part inside the Alien that may have seized up with age, and I may have a remedy for it. Here is a quick explanation of what I think is happening and the part in question. When you call for a headlight wash, the pump attached to the washer reservoir is forcing washer fluid at the Aliens under pressure. Inside the nozzle part of the Alien is this round rubber valve and a spring. When the pressure is applied, it forces the valve up to allow water through. On release of the pressure from squirting water, the spring wins the battle of physics and forces the rubber valve to close and the Alien return to the housing. So my thoughts are that the 18-year-old rubber valves have gone hard and no longer move. The nozzles themselves are definitely not blocked, so seems the only answer. Now these rubber parts are not replaceable. You need to replace the whole Alien. However, I'm going to try and revive the rubber and see if I can get them working again. You can do this on the car, but it is easier to remove the Alien for access. So here I will detail how to remove the Alien from the bumper. First, give the 5 screws holding it to the bumper a squirt of WD-40 to loosen any seized parts. Next, take a small Phillips screwdriver and remove the 2 screws holding the mid-body of the Alien to the bumper. Next, remove the 3 screws holding the top of the Alien to the bumper. Carefully wiggle the nozzle end of the Alien free of the door housing and remove. Lastly, disconnect the water hose from the base of the Alien. Undo the Jubilee clip and carefully slip the hose off. If it is old and stiff like mine, I applied a bit of heat with a blowtorch to soften the hose first. Now to access the rubber valve, repeat the following steps. Pull the Alien nozzles out of the body to fully extend them and grip them tightly. They will try and return to the housing. Next, lift this ratchet retaining clip with a small screwdriver. The nozzle should wriggle free with a bit of assistance. Now the Alien mechanism shoots back inside itself with the nozzle off, but don't worry, it does go back together. Next, there is this small round plastic disc covering the rubber valve. I have read that you can force a pin into this hole and remove the disc, but that would not work for me, and I was worried about piercing the rubber valve. So instead, I worked around the edge of the disc with a very fine bladed screwdriver, prising it upwards. Eventually, it came off, exposing the rubber valve and the spring. Keep all the parts safe. The rubber valve does feel rather stiff and dirty, so to restore it and soften the rubber, I'm going to soak it overnight in a solution of Isopropanol alcohol and Wintergreen oil, otherwise known as methyl salicylate, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm going to use a ratio of 2:1 alcohol to wintergreen. There are a few videos on YouTube that suggest this for softening rubber, so I figured give it a go. If it works, fab. If not, well, at least I have the Aliens popping out of their housing. So I will leave the rubber to soak overnight and check on their softness in the morning. After a good soak overnight, you can see something has been happening. The clear liquid now looks like a sample you would take to the doctors. So it has definitely shifted some dirt and grime, and I hope softened the rubber valves. On removing from the oil, they do feel softer, but not as collapsible as I would have hoped. Perhaps a longer soak would be better. However, I am keen to try them back on the car, so we'll reassemble the valves in the Aliens, put them back on the bumper and give them a squirt. The moment of truth, the rubber valves are back in, the Alien nozzles pushed back into the Alien, and time to start the engine. Giving them a squirt was a massive relief, as you can visibly see water is now being squirted from the nozzles. That is a massive result and goes to show that you can rejuvenate the rubber inside the Aliens rather than buy a whole new unit. However, that is not the whole story. Notice the small puddle of washer fluid under the right hand Alien. This was due to not pushing the nozzles back into the Alien far enough and engaging the clip again, so make sure you push it all the way home. After pushing it all the way home, no more leak and all is good. Looking at the left-hand alien, you see the same results. The old stiff hoses were too much when refitting, so I have replaced all of the hoses supplying the aliens with new clear hoses. For info, the internal diameter of this braided water pipe is 10 mm. I also did away with the quick disconnects that had been plugged up, as that is just another connection to potentially leak.
So that's the repair complete. It took slightly longer than I thought it would due to the number of parts I've needed to complete the repair. But the good thing is, the washers are now both working. Personally, I found this job very satisfying to take a non-serviceable item such as the aliens, service them, get them working again and restore the car to its former glory. Hopefully you too can use this video to restore your headlight washers, and I really would be interested to know how you get on in the comments and feedback below, so please do leave me that feedback and of course ask any questions you may have. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future content, and see you soon. Take care.